Ever since I started scooting around on my low displacement learners, I pictured in my head how I'd be joining this event, this gathering where people just dress up dapper and they ride their classic bikes around. But all these years, I never got it. Until 2025, where me and my family gathered around and joined the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. And this is how it went. Prior to heading to the event itself, which was held at Quezon City Hall, we decided me and my family were all gonna meet up at this coffee donut joint somewhere pretty close to the actual venue itself. It's like less than 5 minutes away. I was the first one to arrive there despite being the furthest one on a scooter, but eventually they followed through. So that's my dad on the Rebel and that's my younger brother on the Husky. My older brother was not available this early, so he was just gonna follow on the event. Once they'd arrived, we then almost immediately rode out the actual assembly venue for the event, and from the get-go there was this wall of Royal Alloy scooters, so I was like low-key pressured into separating with them almost immediately after landing there. Once we'd all parked and settled, we just couldn't believe the amount of people that dedicated their Sunday for this, all dressed up, all on their classic bikes, as if they were waiting for this moment the entire year. Lots of suits, lots of ties, lots of air-cooled bikes. Then we got called to the assembly.
Today is no ordinary Sunday. Ito ang araw kung kailan tayo nagsasama-sama. Nakabihis ang bino, nakasakay ang paborito nating classic na motor. At may dalang tayunin, to ride for Menzel. Ang puro si Mark Blackay, isang malaking karangalan ang makasama kayong lahat para sa DGR Manila 2025. This year marks our 11th year of DGR dito sa Manila. Simula ng 2012, sa Sydney, Australia, lumawak ang kilusan. Ito ang bumubuo ngayon. More than $50 million na raise para sa prostate cancer at next mental health. At bahagi kayo nun. Palapakanan! So this year alone, marking the 11th year, ang Manila, DGR Manila ay nakakontribute na ng 1.6 billion pesos sa buong 11 years na yan. Hindi lang ito simpleng parada, kundi puro classic at pagporma. Ito ay pagsuporta sa mga ama, sa mga kuya, sa mga asawa, sa mga anak, at kaibigan na lagi na lumalaban sa sakit, madalas na hindi pinakausapan.
And once that assembly has adjourned, we all went back to our bikes to prep up and gear up for the actual takeoff of the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride 2025. Right here, I'm staying with the scooter pack, not only because they were very welcoming and very hospitable, but also just an aesthetic decision. Right here, we're all dressed up, we're all dappered up, we're all riding classy bikes. Might as well stay in a formation where you'd look good all together, just uniform. All the classic scooters, a lot of Royal Alloy right here, all together in this section of the parade. And as we line up for the venue exit, we are then greeted with content creators, photographers, media outlets even, and some industry journalists as well, which made lining up with the scooters just the perfect call for this case in particular. gates, we are then greeted once again with the infamous elliptical road of Quezon City. Now, I did hear from the grapevine that some people prematurely exited on Commonwealth. Other than that, I don't know what happened with them, but I can imagine why, because there's a lots of lanes here to get lost. But the actual path would be to exit at Quezon Avenue, as you can see right here. Luckily, the scooter pack still somehow managed to keep the formation somewhat uniform. But as you can see, after this underpass underneath EDSA, we'll be greeted with stoplights and stoplights and stoplights, which will unfortunately split up the group. This frame right here is the perfect visualization of just the variety you'll see at DGR. You'll see suit jackets, you'll see vests, you'll see picnic outfits, and over here is stoplight situation. I'll show you just exactly how many there are in the formation, and this is already in itself segmented. Alright, hi. So you can see right there, there's like, in the frame there's already hundreds of bikes, just literally hundreds of classic bikes, scooters and whatnot. There's not much vehicles on the road, it's a Sunday morning, but nonetheless we are on the heart of Metro Manila, so we're trying to keep our presence as minimum as possible by sticking with just mostly one lane and being as behaved as we can with our speed, our lane changes, while also keeping the formation somewhat solid. It became so backed up that people surprisingly even managed to like get off their bikes, get off the ride, and just cover the event in itself, which was pretty wild to my eyes. With such a large gathering as this, I'm guessing accidents really are just unavoidable, and this is one of them where this Ford crossover unfortunately rear-ended this Ducati. Fortunately, no one was actually hurt, but still sucks that it happened. Hey, there's the line. Pretty insane. And this is already at España. We're about to turn left here to Lacson. Eddie! Now we're jumping ahead at Taft. I had to turn off my camera earlier because my settings were not prepared to handle the low light situation underneath all the flyover, the skyway shenanigans. at the earlier part of Corina. And luckily, I kept the recording here because this is the part where we go away to the city and we get introduced to all the trees near the bay side of Manila City. And here's how the formation looks like on the final stoplight. Still plenty long despite being separated by so many stoplights. That's the renovated Manila Zoo. Remind me, I haven't actually gone there yet, ever since it got renovated. The final approach to the venue itself. Unfortunately, given the time of day and the lack of surrounding buildings and the trees, it was actually plenty hot over here. You can see how scorching the sun is towards us. But one fortunate thing is that there's plenty of parking space inside. So managed to regroup with the scooter bros. Now it's time for me to regroup with my family on the venue itself. So there's my dad right there. Luckily I managed to spot him real quick. Just when I thought it'd already be over, it just never stops flowing. And long after I've turned off my camera, it just keeps on flowing, unbelievably so. Then again, I was prepared. I already knew the head count was gonna be around the thousands, 3,000s to be exact. I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna bother counting or asking what the actual count is, but it's thousands. And together at last. So after regrouping, we entered the venue. We didn't really stay for that long. We didn't go to the event hall dedicated for the actual presentation or whatever on the second floor. We just took it as a time to recompose ourselves and talk about what happens next.
Nagkaka-picturean na sila.
Hindi ko kita sa yung place ko yung nakikita yung kita yung pero nandun ako.
That's that for the DGR. Video.
Ending scenes of Lord niya. Yung pala yung water.
Alright, so that's that for 2025's Manila Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. That's been my ride. That's been my trusty steed the entire time, the white one. And see you next time. So that's been my experience with the 2025 Distinguished Gentleman's Ride along with my family. Thank you guys for tuning in all the way here. If you like the content, please do like and subscribe on the channel, and be sure to check out some of the videos I upload. I do lots of moto stuff. I'll possibly swing in some more fitness and travel, but I'm not promising anything. It's mostly moto for now. And once again, thank you.
Okay lang dito. Okay ba kay Papa?
DGR touchdown.